When two poor twin boys defend a billionaire's daughter outside her elite school, their courage shatters the walls between privilege and poverty. What begins as an act of kindness turns into a bond that changes four lives forever, proving that love can bloom even where worlds should never meet. Cold mist hugged the narrow alleyways of South Seattle where streetlights hummed above puddles of oil-slick water. Inside a cramped one-bedroom apartment, Elena Brooks stirred awake before the alarm could ring again. The walls trembled faintly with the sound of trains passing, a reminder that she lived close enough to the tracks to feel every burden of the city. On the floor, her 7-year-old twins Jace and Micah were already tying old grocery bags around their hands as makeshift gloves. Their day began the same way every morning, collecting recyclables before school. A metal shopping cart leaned by the door, filled halfway with cans they'd picked up the night before. Keep together. Watch for cars. Straight to the bins near the bakery, then school. Elena said, her voice steady despite the exhaustion that clung to it. She folded 2 slices of bread with peanut butter, wrapped them in paper, and tucked them into Jace's coat pocket. Share this at recess. No fighting today. Jace grinned. Only if they started first. Micah looked smaller, quieter, his curls damp from sleep. He pressed a kiss to her cheek before following his brother out. When the door shut, Elena let her shoulders drop, whispering a silent prayer to the empty air. Outside, the twins pushed the cart through the fog, their breath-white ghosts under the street lamp glow. The wheels squeaked, echoing in rhythm with their sneakers. Every clang of a can was another cent toward rent, another meal postponed. And yet, between the hunger and the cold, Jace hummed a tune their mother used to sing something about superheroes. Micah joined in softly. Neither knew that before the sunset, both of them would become heroes for real. By 7:30 a.m., the morning fog had begun to thin, revealing the wide iron gates of Riverside Academy, where luxury SUVs lined up like polished armor. Parents in tailored coats exchanged quick goodbyes, while chauffeurs adjusted umbrellas above children wearing pristine uniforms. Half a block away, Jace and Micah Brooks slowed their steps. Their cart rattled against the curb, bottles clinking like nervous chimes. The twins parked it beside a lamppost, wiped their hands on their jeans, and stared at the scene before them, a different planet entirely. Looks like a castle, Micah whispered. Then we're the dragons, Jace smirked, nudging his brother, as they crossed toward the public side gate reserved for scholarship kids. Their uniforms were second-hand, clean ironed, but one size too big. Still, they walked with the same bold stride their mother taught them. Don't bow your head for anyone. At that very moment, a black SUV glided to a stop at the main gate. Out stepped Lily Harrington, 6 years old, clutching a pastel lunchbox shaped like a unicorn. Her brown curls shimmered in the pale light, the blue silk bow on her head catching the breeze. The twins watched her for a moment, the delicate way she adjusted her backpack straps, the loneliness in her eyes even among the glittering cars. She turned toward the school entrance when a sudden shove knocked her off balance. 3 older boys blocked her path, one snatching at her bow. Nice ribbon, princess, the tallest taunted. Bet it costs more than your whole face. Lily's breath hitched. It's my mom's, please give it back. Jace's jaw tightened. He glanced at Micah. No words needed. They moved as one, stepping between her and the bullies, 2 ragged boys against 3 polished ones. Hey, Jace said coldly. Pick on someone who'll fight back. The courtyard fell quiet for a heartbeat. The 3 bullies, older, taller, wearing spotless blazers, stared at the twins, as if stray dogs had wandered onto royal grounds. The leader, a freckled boy with slicked blonde hair, smirked. Look who we have here, trash collectors in uniform. He dangled Lily's blue bow high between 2 fingers. Want it back, garbage boy? Jace stepped forward, chin lifted. Give it back to her. His voice was even, but his fists balled at his sides. Micah, smaller but fiercer, moved to his brother's shoulder, eyes darting between the 3. Or what the leader taunted, shoving Jace's chest hard enough to make him stumble. Cans from their pockets clattered to the ground, rolling across the pavement. Laughter rippled from the bystanders' nearby kids, too afraid or too privileged to intervene. Jace steadied himself jaw tight. "You wouldn't last 5 minutes where we live." "Lucky for me, I don't live in a dump," the boy sneered, stepping closer. "Now move, hero boy," before he didn't finish. Micah had quietly knelt, scooped up an empty soda cap, and flicked it with a snap of his thumb. It struck the bully square on the wrist. He yelped and dropped the ribbon. Before the others could react, Lily darted forward, snatched the bow, and pressed it to her chest. Tears brimmed in her wide brown eyes, but her small chin lifted in defiance. Jace grinned. "Guess the princess can stand on her own too." "You're gonna regret this," the tall boy hissed, glancing toward the hall monitors. "After school." "Fine," Jace shot back. "We'll still be here." The bell rang shrill and sharp. The bullies retreated with muttered threats, leaving the 3 children in the sudden hush of victory. Lily stared at them, trembling but smiling now. "Thank you," she whispered. Micah shrugged, cheeks flushed. "You can pay us later with maybe a cookie." Lily giggled softly, the first real laugh she'd made in months. Jace bent down, picked up a crushed bottle cap, brushed it off, and handed it to her. "Keep this," he said, "for luck." And just like that, 2 worlds, one made of glass, one of grit, touched for the first time. From her office window on the 2nd floor, Robin Park, the early education coordinator, had seen the entire scene unfold. The twins, dirty sneakers, torn cuffs, defiant courage, standing like little soldiers between cruelty and fear. She hadn't intervened at first, wanting to see what the boy would do. What she witnessed made her heart twist. Now, as the recess bell echoed faintly through the hallways, Robin sat at her desk and began typing an email to her boss's boss, Mr. Cole Harrington, CEO, Billionaire, father of Lily Harrington. She knew her report had to be precise, but human. Subject: incident involving Lily. Positive outcome: dear Mr. Harrington. This morning, your daughter was confronted by 3 older students outside the school gate. Before staff could reach them, 2 scholarship students, Jace and Micah Brooks, intervened. They protected Lily until the situation de-escalated. No injuries occurred. Lily remained with the boys afterward, calm and smiling, something we rarely see since her mother's passing. Robin hesitated, fingers hovering above the keyboard. She added one more line. "Sir, I believe this may be the first real friendship Lily has formed in 2 years." She hit send, feeling a small flutter of hope in her chest. Across the city, on the top floor of Harrington Tech Tower, the message landed in Cole's inbox mid-meeting. His eyes paused on the subject line. Incident involving Lily. His pulse jumped, old fears surging. He excused himself, opened the email, and read every word slowly. By the time he reached the twins' names, something in his expression softened, a mix of relief, gratitude, and quiet curiosity. He tapped his assistant's intercom. "Robin, find these boys and their mother. I'd like to meet them." His voice was calm, but under it ran the tremor of a man about to cross a line he never expected, between obligation and heart. The phone rang just as Elena Brooks was finishing her 3rd shift of the day, scrubbing the counter at a tiny neighborhood diner. The fluorescent lights buzzed above her. Her back ached, her mind already calculating tomorrow's grocery list. "Hello," she answered, tucking the phone between her shoulder and ear while rinsing a rag. A warm, professional voice replied, "Good evening, Mrs. Brooks. My name is Robin Park, assistant to Mr. Cole Harrington." Elena froze mid-motion. "I'm sorry. Who, Mr. Harrington?" "Lily Harrington's father. He asked me to contact you. He'd like to personally thank your sons, Jace and Micah, for what they did this morning." Elena leaned against the counter, the rag dripping water onto her shoes. "You mean the school incident?" "Yes, ma'am. He'd like to invite you and the boys to his residence this Saturday, 4 p.m., for coffee and cake. Just a small gesture of appreciation." For a long moment, Elena couldn't speak. The noise of the diner faded, the hiss of the fryer, the clink of dishes, all muffled by disbelief. I don't think that's necessary. They're just kids. They did what anyone would have done. Robin's tone remained kind but firm. Mr. Harrington insists. He was deeply moved. Moved, Elena repeated softly, her heart thudding. When she hung up, she stood motionless, eyes unfocused. The other waitress, an older woman named Fran, raised an eyebrow. "You look like you saw a ghost." Elena exhaled. Something like that. Later that night, she told the twins while folding laundry in their tiny living room. Jace's eyes widened. "We're going to a billionaire's house." Micah clutched the hem of her sleeve. "Can we bring something, like a gift?" Elena smiled faintly. "We don't have anything fancy to give." Micah thought for a moment, then opened the drawer where he kept his bottle cap collection. "We'll find something blue," he said earnestly. "It's her favorite color." Elena laughed, a small, tired sound that warmed the room. She didn't know that in just 2 days, that blue cap would open a door she never imagined stepping through. Saturday afternoon arrived quicker than Elena Brooks expected, and her small apartment looked like a tornado had passed through. She had tried on every dress she owned, 3 in total, before choosing a simple navy one that fit cleanly at the waist. Her hands trembled as she brushed the twins' curls, trying to tame them into something presentable. "Mom, what if they think we're poor?" Jace asked, adjusting the button on his slightly faded shirt. Elena smiled softly. "Then they'll be right, sweetheart, but they'll also know we're honest." At 3:30 sharp, a sleek black SUV pulled up outside the apartment complex. Neighbors peeked from their doors as a uniformed driver stepped out, addressing her with a courteous "Mrs. Brooks." "I'm Paul, Mr. Harrington's driver. He's expecting you." The boy's eyes went wide at the plush interior. There were screens on the seats, bottled water and glass holders, the faint scent of leather and pine. As the car rolled through the city, the landscape changed. Graffiti-stained walls turned into clean brick buildings, then tree-lined streets, then iron gates and manicured lawns. By the time they reached the Harrington estate, the twins had fallen silent. The mansion rose ahead like something out of a storybook. 3 stories of pale stone, tall arched windows, and gardens trimmed into perfect geometry. The fountain out front glittered like liquid silver. Mom whispered Micah. "Do rich people really live like this every day?" Elena swallowed hard. "Yes, baby. Every day." They followed the driver up a marble staircase, their shoes squeaking faintly. Inside, a housekeeper greeted them and led them through a sunlit corridor lined with paintings worth more than Elena could imagine earning in a lifetime. Every step felt heavier, like walking deeper into another universe. In the tea lounge, Cole Harrington stood waiting, dressed casually, in a soft gray sweater, his daughter Lily perched beside him on the couch. The little girl's eyes lit up the moment she saw the twins. "You came!" she squealed, running forward. Jace grinned. "We don't break promises." Then, digging into his pocket, he held out a small cobalt blue bottle cap, polished until it shone. "This is for you. Matches your bow." Lily gasped as if he'd given her a diamond. "It's beautiful," Elena felt her throat tighten. In that single innocent gesture, she realized her sons had brought something money could never buy into this house, pure, uncalculated kindness. And for the first time since she'd stepped through the gate, she saw Cole Harrington smile, not the practiced one for cameras, but something genuine, fragile, and human. Tea steamed between them, filling the quiet space with the scent of jasmine and polished silver. Elena Brooks sat upright on the edge of the sofa, back straight, hands folded tightly in her lap. Her sons Jace and Micah sat beside her legs, swinging nervously above the expensive rug. Across from them, Cole Harrington studied the small family with quiet fascination. He'd met hundreds of people, investors, politicians, visionaries, but none had entered his home with such raw humility. "Your boys are remarkable," he began, his voice deep but kind. "It takes courage to stand up for someone smaller. You must be very proud." I am, Elena replied, forcing a polite smile. They learned that from my father. He used to say, when you've got nothing else, you still have your spine. Cole nodded, impressed by her steadiness. He turned to the twins. So tell me, heroes, what kind of reward would you like for what you did? The boys exchanged a quick glance. Micah nudged Jace, whispering something. Then Jace looked up, his small hands gripping the edge of the table. We don't need toys, he said earnestly. But can you give our mom a job? The room froze. Even the ticking clock on the mantel seemed to stop. Elena's face went pale. Jace, she gasped. That's not. But Cole's expression had already changed. His confident composure faltered, a flicker of emotion flashing through his eyes. A job for your mother, he repeated quietly. Jace nodded. She works all the time, sir. But the jobs keep ending. She comes home tired, and sometimes she cries when she thinks we're asleep. The words pierced deeper than any corporate report ever had. Cole's throat tightened. His mind flashed back to the night his wife Claire had whispered through tears. You can't buy time, Cole. You can only waste it or cherish it. A single tear betrayed him before he could hide it. He turned away slightly, clearing his throat. You're a good son, Jace. Elena rose quickly, mortified. I'm so sorry, Mr. Harrington. He didn't mean to. Cole raised a hand gently. He meant every word he said softly. And maybe he's right. That quiet admission hung between them like a secret promise. For the first time in years, Cole Harrington, the man who owned half the skyline, felt something he hadn't in a long time. The ache to do something good, not profitable. When the laughter of the children faded down the hallway, a delicate quiet settled over the Harrington estate. Cole Harrington poured 2 cups of coffee, one for himself, one for Elena Brooks, then sat across from her elbows, resting loosely on his knees. Mrs. Brooks, he began, voice steady but searching. I owe your sons more than a thank you. They protected what matters most to me. Elena shook her head, still uneasy. They just did what's right. You don't owe us anything. Cole smiled faintly. Your boys said otherwise. Her heart sank again, remembering Jace's bold words. Please don't take that seriously. They don't understand how the world works. That's where I disagree, he said quietly. I think they understand better than most adults I know. He leaned forward, eyes softer now. I'd like to offer you a job, an actual position at Harrington Tech. Not charity, employment. Elena blinked, uncertain she'd heard correctly. Job, yes. My executive assistant, Robin Park, is moving up to operations director. I need someone I can trust, organized, patient, unshakably honest. Robin tells me those are your trademarks. I'm flattered. Elena said slowly, fingers twisting in her lap. But Mr. Harrington, I don't have a degree. I've cleaned houses, cooked meals, managed schedules for families, but never worked in an office like yours. Cole nodded. Skills can be taught. Integrity can't. The statement lingered, powerful in its simplicity. After a pause, she met his gaze. If I accept, it's because I'll earn it, not because of pity. Agreed, he said, extending his hand. You'll start on Monday. Standard salary, full benefits, and scholarships for your sons. Fair terms. Her fingers trembled slightly as she shook his hand. Fair, she whispered. At that moment, Lily and the twins burst back into the room, breathless and laughing, their faces flushed with joy. Lily held out a toy train in one hand, Micah's blue cap in the other. We made it go faster together, she announced proudly. Cole watched them, a faint smile tugging at his lips. You see, Mrs. Brooks? He murmured, it seems the children have already figured out how to work as a team. Elena followed his gaze, and for the first time in years, hope didn't feel like a fantasy. It felt like the start of something real. Monday morning arrived, wrapped in nerves. Elena Brooks woke before dawn, heart hammering. The air in the apartment smelled faintly of soap and cheap coffee as she pressed the wrinkles out of her only formal dress, the same navy one she'd worn to the mansion. Her reflection in the mirror looked both terrified and determined. "Mom, you look like one of those office ladies on TV," Micah said, munching toast at the table. "Do you think Mr. Harrington will like you?" added Jace, tying his own shoelaces crookedly. Elena smiled despite the knot in her stomach. "It's not about liking me. It's about doing the job right." She smoothed their hair, kissed both foreheads, and sent them off with their lunch boxes. At 7:00 a.m., sharp, the same black SUV arrived. The city blurred past the window as she rehearsed what to say, how to act, how not to sound like she didn't belong. When the car stopped in front of Harrington Tech Tower, she nearly lost her breath. The building rose into the clouds, 30 stories of glass and steel reflecting the morning sun. Executives in sleek suits passed through the revolving doors, greeting the receptionist with polished ease. Elena's steps faltered until a familiar voice broke her trance. "Mrs. Brooks, welcome," said Robin Park, warm but professional. "I'll be showing you around today." The next 2 hours were a blur. Robin guided her through a maze of glass walls and modern art. She met dozens of employees whose names slipped through her mind like water. At last, Robin led her to a small workstation right outside Cole Harrington's private office, her new desk. "This is Command Central," Robin said. "You'll handle scheduling calls, internal memos. You'll also manage access to Mr. Harrington. In short, you're the gatekeeper." Elena swallowed hard, staring at the high-tech setup. A sleek computer, a tablet, a multi-line phone with more buttons than she'd ever seen. "I'll do my best," she said softly. "Don't worry," Robin reassured. "We'll train you for the next month before I move into my new role." Moments later, the frosted glass door slid open, and Cole stepped out. His suit was navy crisp, but his expression warm, almost proud. "Good morning, Mrs. Brooks." "Good morning, Sir Mr. Harrington." Cole." His lips twitched at her fluster. "How are the boys excited?" "Nervous. I think they polished their shoes twice." He chuckled lightly. "They'll fit right in. Lily hasn't stopped talking about her new friends." Robin handed Cole his morning files and whispered something before leaving. The door clicked shut, leaving Elena and Cole in an awkward quiet. "Would you like to sit in on the morning meeting?" he asked. "You'll learn faster that way." Inside the conference room, sleek screens glowed with charts and projections. Executives spoke in a coded language, terms like leverage, Q4 projections, integration pipeline. Elena scribbled notes, unsure if any of it made sense. Every now and then, she caught a glance, one executive's dismissive smirk, another's whispered comment. "The cleaning lady turned secretary," she imagined them saying. By noon, her head throbbed. At lunch, she stood hesitantly by the cafeteria's glass wall until Robin motioned her over. "Ignore them," Robin said, slicing into her salad. "They forget where they started." Elena forced a smile. "It's just, everything's so different." "Give it time," Robin said kindly. "You'll surprise them." That afternoon, Cole called her into his office, so he said, leaning back in his chair. "How's day one treating you? I'm learning," she answered carefully. "Mostly how much I don't know." He laughed quietly. "Honesty, that's rare here, keep it." Something eased in her chest. For the first time all day, she didn't feel like an intruder in his world. Outside, as dusk settled over the city, Elena Brooks lingered by the elevator, gazing at the reflection of the skyline in the glass walls. She still felt small, but now she was inside the tower. And that was a start. By the end of her first week at Harrington Tech, Elena Brooks had memorized the office layout, the names of key executives, and the rhythm of the building, the buzz before board meetings, the hush when Cole Harrington walked by. Still, she felt the eyes. Every elevator ride, every hallway pause, there were whispers behind manicured hands. "Isn't she the one the CEO brought in personally? I heard she used to scrub floors. Must have done something special to get that position." The words stung, but Elena never let her face show it. She'd endured worse than gossip. Still, the isolation pressed heavy on her chest. One afternoon, Camila Vasquez, the marketing director, a woman whose heels clicked like punctuation marks of authority, stopped by Elena's desk. "You're the new hire," she said, eyes scanning Elena's modest outfit. Quite the unconventional background for a corporate role. Elena smiled politely. "Yes, ma'am, I'm still learning. I'm sure you are," Camila said with a thin smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Well, good luck keeping up. Mr. Harrington has high standards." Then she walked away, perfume lingering like arrogance. Elena took a slow breath. She wasn't going to cry, not here, not now. That evening, as the last lights dimmed in the office, she stayed behind double-checking schedules and typing up reports. The city glittered below like a sea of stars. "Still here?" a voice asked. She looked up. Cole stood in the doorway, jacket slung over one shoulder. "I just wanted to be sure everything's right for tomorrow," Elena said. He stepped closer, glancing at her screen. "It's perfect," he said simply. "You're doing well, Elena. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise." Her throat tightened. "Thank you. I just don't want people thinking I don't belong here." Cole's expression softened. "When I first started, everyone thought the same about me. My father built this company. They said I didn't deserve it." He gave a faint smile. "You'll learn something about this place people only whisper when they're afraid you might outrun them." The elevator dinged softly as he turned to leave. "Go home, Elena. You've already earned your place here." For the first time since she'd entered those glass halls, she believed him. 3 weeks later, Elena Brooks began to move with quiet confidence through the gleaming corridors of Harrington Tech. Her posture had changed. She still dressed simply, but she carried herself differently, steady, composed. She arrived early each morning, reviewing Cole Harrington's schedule before anyone else entered the building. By 8:00 a.m., the coffee was ready, the reports arranged, the day already mapped. She had found rhythm in chaos. Still, not everyone welcomed her progress. That Tuesday, Camila Vasquez stormed out of a meeting and slammed her folder on Elena's desk. "Where are the Q4 campaign files? I sent an email an hour ago. They're already printed." "And in Mr. Harrington's office," Elena replied calmly. "Color-coded by region." Camila froze mid-rant. "Oh, I see." She glanced toward the frosted glass door where Cole's shadow moved inside. "You're efficient," she muttered before retreating. It was the first time Camila hadn't smirked. Later that afternoon, Cole summoned Elena into his office. He was standing by the window, phone in hand, voice low but sharp. "Yes, Ricardo, I know what the board wants, but what they need is someone who sees the people behind the numbers." He ended the call, then turned toward her. "Sorry about that. Some of our directors are allergic to compassion." Elena smiled faintly. "I'm learning that's common in business." He chuckled. "And yet you're surviving beautifully." He gestured to a folder on the desk. "I wanted to talk to you about this, our employee wellness initiative. I'd like your opinion." "My opinion," she repeated, startled. "Yes. You're closer to the staff than I am. They trust you." Elena opened the folder and skimmed the proposal: health programs, flexible hours, mental health leave. "It's a good start," she said, meeting his eyes. "But it feels written by someone who's never had to choose between food and rent." Cole tilted his head, intrigued. "Go on. Real support isn't just yoga classes and email reminders. It's security. Knowing your job won't vanish next month. Knowing your kids are safe when you're at work." Her words hung in the air like something sacred. Cole leaned back, a small smile curving his lips. "You speak like someone who's lived it." "I have," she said quietly. He nodded slowly. "Then help me fix it." That was the moment Elena Brooks stopped being the new hire. She had become something far rarer, the voice that made the billionaire listen. Weeks rolled into months, and the rhythm of Harrington Tech began to change subtly, almost imperceptibly, but surely. The break room stayed open later for parents working overtime. Overtime pay became standard instead of discretionary. Employees began smiling more, greeting Elena Brooks by name as she passed. Inside the executive office, Cole Harrington noticed the shift too. His meetings ran smoother, fewer resignations landed on his desk, and somehow, without planning it, his company started feeling human. One morning, Robin Park stopped by Elena's desk, arms crossed but smiling. "You've made waves," you know that Elena blinked. "Me your ideas. Your courage to speak up. Even Camilla asked your opinion on her next pitch. That's practically a miracle." Elena laughed softly, a sound lighter than it used to be. "I just try to make things fair." Robin grinned. "And that's exactly why you belong here." That afternoon, as the sun poured gold through the tower's glass walls, Cole called her into his office. "We're hosting a conference next month," he said. "Executives from all over the world. I want you to organize it." Elena froze. "Me," he nodded. "You've earned their respect. Now show them why." Outside the window, the skyline stretched endlessly, but for the first time, she didn't feel beneath it. She felt part of it. That night, when she returned home, her sons were already asleep. She kissed their foreheads, whispering, "We're getting closer, boys. Closer than we ever dreamed." And as she turned off the lights, the city shimmered beyond the cracked window, like it was listening, like it believed her. The following month, Harrington Tech buzzed like a beehive preparing for flight. Executives, investors, and foreign partners were flying in from New York, Tokyo, London. Every corner of the building gleamed, and at the center of it all was Elena Brooks, clipboard in hand, headset clipped to her ear, her every step measured and calm. She'd spent 3 sleepless weeks perfecting schedules, confirming hotel reservations, adjusting speaker timetables down to the minute. For the first time, her name was printed on official documents, Conference Director E. Brooks. But not everyone was thrilled about it. During the final rehearsal, Ricardo Mendes, the CFO, a man who measured respect by net worth, stood and cleared his throat. "Cole," he said in a tone dripping with diplomacy, "while I admire Miss Brooks's dedication, perhaps someone with formal experience should handle a conference of this magnitude. Investors expect professionalism." A murmur rippled through the room. Elena felt heat rise to her cheeks, but said nothing. Cole's jaw tightened. "You mean someone who wears a more expensive suit?" Ricardo forced a laugh. "I mean someone who won't make mistakes we can't afford." "Funny," Cole replied, voice cool and sharp. "Because every system running this event was reorganized by her. Every timeline you approved came from her desk. The only mistake I see would be doubting her now." Silence fell. Ricardo's smirk faltered, replaced by an uncomfortable flush. Elena exhaled slowly, her pulse loud in her ears. Cole turned to her, lowering his voice. "You've got this. Don't let their noise inside your head." The day of the conference arrived with the sky blushing pale gold. Banners unfurled, cameras clicked, translators whispered through earpieces. Every movement unfolded like choreography, and at its heart, Elena kept the rhythm steady. When the final speaker left the stage, the applause was thunderous. Hours later, as the last guests departed, Robin approached her beaming. "You did it. Not one delay, not one mistake." Exhausted but glowing, Elena looked out at the empty hall. For a woman who used to scrub marble floors, standing here felt unreal. In the back of the room, Cole Harrington watched her quietly, admiration and something gentler glinting in his eyes. She had turned doubt into proof, and in that proof, something far greater than success was beginning to take root. The morning after the conference's success, Elena Brooks finally allowed herself to rest. For the first time in weeks, she woke without an alarm, sunlight warming her small apartment through thin curtains. The boys were laughing over breakfast, their joy so loud it made her smile. But by afternoon, the laughter faded. Mom Micah whispered, holding his stomach. "It hurts." His face was pale, lips dry. At first, Elena thought it was fatigue from all the excitement, but then Jace touched his brother's forehead and gasped. "He's burning up," panic flooded her. The thermometer flashed 104 degrees. She gave him medicine, cool compresses, whispered prayers. Yet by evening, his pain worsened sharp, curling him into himself. Her hands shook as she called the school nurse's emergency number. He's got a high fever and stomach pain. He's crying non-stop. Take him to urgent care now, Mrs. Brooks came, the immediate reply. The sky was black when she carried Micah down the apartment steps, Jace trailing close behind. The taxi ride blurred in flashing streetlights and silent tears. By the time they arrived at the clinic, Micah could barely keep his eyes open. Appendicitis, the doctor said after a quick examination. It's advanced, we need to operate right away. Elena froze. Operate, but I don't have insurance yet. It's still in the probation period. The nurse's voice softened. We'll need a deposit to proceed. She stared at the paper in her hands, the numbers swimming. It was more than 3 months of rent. Then she remembered Cole Harrington's number sitting saved in her phone. Her pride screamed no, but her son's faint cry silenced it. Please, she whispered when he answered. It's Micah. He's sick. They said surgery, appendicitis. I can't stop, Cole said firmly. Where are you? St. Luke's Clinic on 43rd. I'm on my way. Don't move. Within 20 minutes, a sleek car pulled up outside. Cole strode in with purpose, his presence shifting the room. Transfer him to St. Luke's Children's Hospital, he ordered the doctor. Private room? I'll cover all expenses. Elena tried to protest, but he cut her off. No arguments. Your only job is to stay by your son. The next hours crawled. She waited alone in a sterile hallway while Micah was taken into surgery. Cole stayed beside her the entire time, jacket off, sleeves rolled up, quiet but steady. When she began to cry, he placed a hand over hers. He's strong, he said softly. He's got your blood. After what felt like forever, the surgeon appeared. The operation was a success, he announced. We caught it just in time. Elena's knees nearly gave out. Cole caught her arm before she fell. It's over, he said gently. He's safe. When they were finally allowed into recovery, Micah looked tiny against the white sheets. Tubes, monitors, oxygen, it all blurred through Elena's tears. She kissed his forehead again and again. Thank you, she whispered hoarsely, for everything. I don't know how to. Cole shook his head. You already have. The day you walked into my office, you changed the way I see this world. They stood in silence, surrounded by the soft beeping of machines, both realizing that this wasn't just gratitude anymore. It was something deeper, unspoken, and fragile. Outside the hospital window, snow had begun to fall soft and slow, as if the night itself was exhaling in relief. And for the first time in her life, Elena Brooks felt like she wasn't fighting the world alone. The next morning dawned in shades of pale gold and hospital white. Elena Brooks had barely slept. She sat in a stiff chair beside Micah's bed, her hand resting gently on his small fingers. The faint rhythm of the heart monitor steadied her nerves. Every beep reminded her he's alive. He's here. When the door creaked open, she turned to see Cole Harrington carrying 2 paper cups of coffee. He looked exhausted, but composed, a man who hadn't left since the night before. You should rest, he said quietly, setting the cup beside her. Elena shook her head, her voice hoarse. I can't. Not yet. Cole studied her. Her pale face, the dark crescents under her eyes, the wrinkled blouse she hadn't changed out of. He's past the worst, he reassured. The doctor said he'll be home in a few days. Tears filled her eyes again, unbidden. You've done too much already. The hospital, the specialists, even the private room. He cut her off gently. Elena, listen to me. You don't owe me anything. This isn't charity. It's what people should do when they can help. But why, she whispered, struggling to meet his gaze. You barely knew us before that day at the gate. Cole paused, then leaned back in the chair across from her. His eyes softened, revealing something she hadn't seen before, a fracture in his calm exterior. Because once a long time ago, someone saved me. My wife Clara, when I was drowning in work money ambition. She taught me that having everything means nothing if you can't feel something real. His voice dropped. When she died, I forgot that lesson, until you and the boys reminded me. Elena listened in silence, the weight of his confession settling like warm rain on her chest. For a moment, the titles disappeared. The billionaire, the single mother. They were just two broken people who'd found pieces of themselves reflected in each other's pain. Micah reminds me of her, Cole said quietly. That same spark, that fearlessness. She smiled faintly. He's strong, but sometimes too brave for his own good, maybe, he said. But his courage saved my daughter, and somehow it brought all of us together. They sat for a long while, the room wrapped in the soft hum of hospital air vents. The snow outside thickened, covering the city in silence. A soft knock interrupted the calm. Lily Harrington peeked in, holding a small handmade card. Mom said I could visit, she said shyly, then hurried over to Micah's bedside. This is for you. I drew us all playing in the park. Micah's eyelids fluttered open. A weak smile curved his lips. That's us, yup, Lily said proudly. That's you, me, Jace, and my dad. Cole chuckled. You made me taller than everyone else, huh? Because you always look tall? Lily giggled. Elena couldn't stop smiling as she watched them. Something about that drawing, a family of mismatched colors and uneven shapes, felt more real than anything she'd seen in years. When Lily skipped out of the room with her father, Elena followed him into the hallway. The fluorescent lights flickered above, and the sterile smell of antiseptic filled the air. I'll pay you back, she said suddenly, even if it takes years. Cole turned, his expression unreadable. Elena, no, she said firmly. I have to say this. I don't want my sons thinking that the only way to survive is to be rescued. I want them to believe in earning what they have. Cole stared at her for a long moment before nodding slowly. Then let's make a deal, he said. You keep doing your job better than anyone else, and you'll have repaid me 10 times over. She hesitated, then smiled. Deal. Later that evening, after Cole and Lily left, Elena sat by Micah's bed again. The snow outside had stopped, and the city lights blinked through the window like distant stars. She looked down at her sleeping son and whispered, You see, baby, there are still good people in this world. Maybe we can stop running now. Micah stirred slightly, his lips parting. Mom, he murmured drowsily, is Mr. Cole? Our friend Elena brushed his hair gently. Yes, she said softly. He is. And maybe he's more than that. When the hospital grew quiet, Elena leaned back and finally closed her eyes. For the first time in years, she wasn't haunted by fear or uncertainty. Instead, she dreamed of peace, of laughter, of a home not bound by poverty, but by kindness. And as she slept, the city outside glowed faintly beneath the snow, like the world itself was holding its breath, waiting for what would come next. 3 days later, the doctors declared Micah Brooks fit for discharge. His stitches were small, his smile even smaller, but alive. Elena helped him dress while Jace stuffed his backpack with crayons and snacks for the ride home. The sterile smell of the hospital mixed with relief, gratitude, and something deeper, hope. When the door opened, Cole Harrington stood there with Lily by his side, carrying a basket of fruit and 2 paper cranes folded from gold foil. Doctor said he's officially our little warrior, Cole said, grinning at Micah. How's it feel to be the toughest kid in Seattle? Micah puffed up his chest. Can I eat pizza now? Lily giggled. Only if you promise to share, Elena laughed, shaking her head. We'll see about that after soup and rest. Her tone softened as she turned to Cole. You didn't have to come. I did, he replied simply. I wanted to make sure you got home safely. Outside, snow had melted into glistening puddles and the air smelled clean, washed, new. The SUV hummed quietly as it rolled through the city. From the window, Elena watched the neighborhoods change from broken fences and faded paint to manicured lawns and polished gates. For once, she didn't feel envy, only disbelief that her life had crossed the invisible line between those worlds. When they reached her apartment building, Cole helped her carry the bags up the narrow stairs. "You really don't have to," she began. "I know," he said, smiling faintly, "but I want to see where Micah's heroes come from." Inside the apartment was humble but tidy drawings taped to the walls, blankets folded neatly, and the faint smell of detergent in the air. Lily wandered toward the small window, gazing at the skyline visible between rooftops. "It's pretty," she said softly. "You can see the tower from here." Elena followed her gaze. The Harrington Tech Tower rose far in the distance, sharp against the winter sky. She never thought she'd belong to any world that reached that high. As Cole surveyed the space, something in his eyes shifted admiration mixed with guilt. "You've built something real here," he said quietly, "even with so little." "I built it because I had no choice," Elena replied. "When you have kids, you stop waiting for miracles, you make them." Cole met her gaze. Maybe miracles just take the form of people who refuse to give up. The silence that followed wasn't awkward. It was full. Two souls who had fought through different storms and somehow found shelter in the same place. Micah's voice broke the quiet. "Mom, can Mr. Cole come for dinner one day?" Elena hesitated, blushing faintly. "Maybe when we have something fancier than soup." Cole chuckled. "Soup's fine by me, just let me know when." Before leaving, he crouched down to the twins' level. "You boys did something incredible," he said. "You reminded a lot of grown-ups what real courage looks like." Jace grinned. "We just protected Lily." Cole's voice softened, and that changed everything. After the car disappeared around the corner, Elena stood by the window watching until the last trace of its headlights vanished. The apartment felt different now, warmer somehow, larger, as though it had absorbed the kindness left behind. She turned to her sons, kissed their heads, and whispered, "We're going to be okay. I can feel it." And far away, high above the glowing skyline, Cole Harrington sat in his car, looking at the city lights, realizing that what began as gratitude had grown into something far more dangerous, something he could no longer ignore. He wasn't just helping her. He was beginning to need her. That night, Cole Harrington couldn't sleep. The snow had stopped, but his thoughts didn't. He stood by the window of his penthouse, city lights reflected in the glass like restless stars. For years, he'd built walls around himself, work numbers, structure control. Yet lately, one woman's quiet strength had begun slipping through every gap. Elena Brooks didn't belong to his world, and maybe that's why she haunted it. He saw her in everything now, the patience in how she listened, the fire in how she fought for her sons, the softness she tried so hard to hide. At the same time, Elena lay awake in her tiny apartment, unable to shake the image of him standing in that hospital hallway, calm, protective, vulnerable. For the first time, she had seen not the billionaire, but the man. She turned toward her sleeping sons and whispered, "Don't get used to this, Lena. Don't dream too far." But her heart didn't listen. The next morning, when she arrived at work, she found a small note on her desk in Cole's familiar handwriting. "Thank you for reminding me that success means nothing without humanity." Her breath caught. It wasn't a love note. It wasn't even personal. But something about the simplicity of it, his acknowledgement, his sincerity, unlocked a warmth inside her chest she hadn't felt in years. From that moment on, every glance between them carried an unspoken electricity, fragile, forbidden, and growing stronger by the day. And though neither dared to name it, both knew that something irreversible had already begun. Winter deepened, and Harrington Tech shimmered under silver frost. The year-end party was only days away, and the entire building pulsed with celebration music rehearsals. lights being strung across the atrium, laughter echoing through glass corridors. For Elena Brooks, it was the busiest week yet. She stayed late finalizing reports, reviewing speeches, and checking guest lists. When the office emptied and silence settled, she caught her reflection in the dark window, tired eyes, wind-tangled hair, a small, wistful smile. Across town, Cole Harrington was still in his study going over the same speech for the event. But his thoughts wandered. He kept seeing the moment in the hospital, the way she'd clutched her son's hand, the tremor in her voice when she whispered, "Thank you." He'd told himself he just admired her resilience. Yet admiration had slowly turned into something more, a quiet longing to protect, to know, to simply be near. That night, after she sent her final email, Elena stepped outside the tower. The city glowed in white and amber. She lifted her face toward the falling snow, closing her eyes. Unbeknownst to her, Cole stood at his window miles away, watching the same snow drift over the skyline. Two worlds apart, they were bathed in the same pale light, unaware that both were silently wishing for the same impossible thing. A chance. A beginning neither had planned for, yet both could no longer deny. The evening of the Harrington Tech Winter Gala arrived, turning the glass tower into a palace of gold and silver. Music floated through the halls, and the scent of winter roses filled the air. Elena Brooks stood near the entrance, her navy dress simple but elegant, her hair softly curled. She looked nothing like the woman who once scrubbed office floors, yet her heart pounded as though she didn't belong here. Across the room, Cole Harrington was surrounded by executives and reporters, but his gaze found her instantly. For a moment, the noise of the crowd disappeared. He excused himself mid-conversation and walked toward her, each step deliberate, eyes fixed on hers. "You clean up well, Miss Brooks?" he said, half smiling. She laughed nervously. "You too, Mr. Harrington, though I suppose you always do." They stood in silence, the glow of the chandelier catching in her eyes. Around them, champagne glasses clinked and music swelled, but all he saw was her. When the speeches ended and the applause faded, Cole leaned closer. "You once told me miracles don't happen. Maybe we were both wrong." Elena looked up, her voice barely a whisper. "And if this is one, then I don't want to wake up." The orchestra began a slow waltz. Without thinking, Cole offered his hand. For a moment, hesitation flickered. Then she took it. Under the golden lights, billionaire and single mother moved together every step, echoing the impossible truth that two worlds had finally collided and neither wanted to let go. The night's brilliance faded slowly into stillness. The gala was over, the guests gone, and Harrington Tower stood wrapped in quiet moonlight. The last song had long ended, but Cole Harrington and Elena Brooks lingered by the grand window overlooking the glittering city below. Her heels dangled from one hand, her hair loosened from its pins. He stood beside her, jacket off, tie undone, two people stripped of their armor. "You shouldn't have danced with me," Elena whispered. "People will talk." "Let them," Cole replied softly. "They already talk about everything else." She turned to face him, her breath visible in the cold air from the half-open terrace door. "You don't understand, Cole. I can't afford to be a rumor. I work too hard to stand where I am." He stepped closer, his voice low but steady. "You think I don't know what it means to fight for something real, to lose everything that ever mattered." Her eyes softened, but her walls stayed firm. "You have everything." "No," he said simply. "I had everything, until you showed me what I was missing." The silence stretched long, fragile, trembling. Snow began to fall outside, flakes swirling through the glass reflection, like ghosts of another world. Elena looked away. "This can't happen. We live in different universes." Maybe, he murmured, but universes can collide. That's what makes stars. Her lips parted, half protest, half surrender. For a moment, the distance between them was nothing. Then a sound broke the spell, a phone vibrating on the marble counter. She flinched, stepping back as if waking from a dream. It was Micah, her son, calling from home. She answered immediately, voice trembling. "Hey, baby. Yes, Mommy's coming. Don't wait up, okay?" When she hung up, Cole's expression had softened into understanding. He nodded once. "You should go." "I should," she whispered. But neither moved. Finally, Elena took a breath that sounded too much like goodbye. "Thank you. For everything." "Don't thank me," Cole said quietly. "Just promise me something." She looked up. "What? Don't build your life around fear anymore. You deserve more than survival." Elena blinked hard, her heart twisting. Then she turned and walked away, the sound of her footsteps echoing against the marble floor like fading music. Cole watched her go until the elevator doors closed, leaving only her reflection in the glass and the ghost of a dance that still lingered in his hands. Weeks passed after the gala, and the world moved on. But for Cole Harrington and Elena Brooks, silence had a weight of its own, heavy, unspoken, alive. Work returned to its rhythm. Reports, meetings, deadlines. Yet every time their eyes met across the glass of his office, something flickered, something that refused to fade. Outside, Seattle's winter softened into early spring. Snow melted from the rooftops, the first rain washing the city clean. And on one of those gray, quiet mornings, Cole called Elena into his office. When she entered, he wasn't behind his desk. He was by the window holding a thin folder. "Do you remember the day Micah asked me for a job for his mom?" he asked. Elena smiled faintly. "I remember every word." He handed her the folder. Inside was a document bearing her name, Vice Director of Community Development, Harrington Foundation. "This isn't a promotion," he said. "It's a purpose. A new branch we're creating to give scholarships, training, and housing assistance to families like yours. You'll lead it." Elena stared, stunned. "Cole, I don't know what to say." "Say yes," he answered gently. "Because no one understands that mission better than you." Tears welled in her eyes. She wanted to speak, to thank him, to refuse out of pride, but her throat closed around the words. "You're still saving us?" she managed. "No," Cole said softly, stepping closer. "You're saving me." For a moment, time seemed to still, the city, the sky, everything beyond that glass wall fading into silence. His hand brushed hers. She didn't pull away. Then a knock broke the quiet. Jace and Micah peeked in, holding a paper drawing. Mr. Cole, Micah grinned. "We drew your tower, and us, and Mommy and Lily too?" Cole crouched, smiling. "That's perfect. You even got the windows right." Elena looked down at the sketch, 4 stick figures holding hands under a bright yellow sun. Her voice was soft when she spoke. "Looks like they already built the bridge." Cole met her eyes. "Then let's walk across it." And as laughter filled the room, children's hers, his, the cold edges of 2 very different worlds finally melted away. Not through money, not through power, but through something far rarer. Grace and love that asked for nothing in return. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment and rate this story from 1 to 10. Like, share, and subscribe with the bell on so you never miss a story. Watch more uplifting videos now on the end screen or playlist. See you in the next journey.